All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Madison Select Board on Monday, August 19th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy is not on.
Okay.
She's going to try.
Let the record show Selectman Estes is absent, Select-Person Estes is absent. Consent agenda, warrant number 47, 722, 24, number 2, 722, 24, number 3, 722, 24, number 4, 8, 12, 24, number 5, 8, 12, 24, payroll register number 30, 7, 25, 24, 31, 8, 1, 24, 32, 8, 8, 24, 33, 8, 15, 24. Looking for a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, with motion and a second to approve the warrants and payroll registers as read. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. Number 3, the liquor license for Avalon Enterprises doing business as Somerset Abbey. Looking for a motion to,
Make a motion to approve the liquor license for Avalon Enterprises Incorporated, DBA Somerset Abbey. I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the liquor license for Avalon Enterprises doing business as Somerset Abbey. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. Number 4, a request for pole permit. And I believe we have a diagram. Town manager, would you like to?
I will speak to that. The request is coming from a line clerk at CMP. They want to put the starting point would be intersection of Russell Road and Longley Road. The direction would be easterly. I can show this around.
Is something new being built out there?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with these, so I don't really have a sense of what I'm supposed to be looking for.
It's a little bit, there's one between two poles, I would say, for some reason. All right, so we're looking for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the town pole permit. I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the pole permit for the Longley Road for CMP. Any questions?
It's just a single pole, I take it.
Yes. All those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. And let's make sure we sign that. All right, acceptance of the select board meeting minutes on July 8th, 2024.
Move to accept the minutes of July 8th, 2024. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the meeting minutes from July 8th, 2024. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. All right, we have the proposed ordinance, chapter 170. We are going to look to send this to a public hearing after we get done talking about it. I would like to say thank you to Chairman Tomlinson and her board for getting this done fairly quickly, and I believe the other one is on the way. All right.
Soon.
All right. Mrs. Town Manager, what would you like to
The
enlighten us here?
Health Reach folks, I don't remember remember if I gave you the copy from Health Reach also, that said it's like in red.
I don't remember seeing it.
I apologize, I should have had the copy of that for you. You do have it? It's attached to the other one?
Oh.
It should say F1.
Let's go on. I got E1.
F1's not in your hand? You got it?
I have these monthly reports.
Okay. What the Health Reach personnel or legal team is requesting to be changed are wording issues that represent traditional verbiage as of today, today's language, instead of a year ago or 5 years ago. So they're asking that we change addiction treatment centers and clinics to outpatient substance use disorder treatment programs.
That's right in the first line.
Then that, are you looking, then you must be, yeah, that's the title. So I'll make sure you all get a copy of this. I apologize. So essentially, throughout the document, anywhere it says addiction, it changes to substance use disorder. Anywhere it says centers or clinics, it changes it to programs. A couple other minor things are that it adds an exclusion under the 170-2 applicability. This ordinance shall apply to any outpatient substance use disorder treatment program that is located within the town of Madison, and then it goes on to say licensed hospitals, federally qualified health centers, it adds that FQHC, pharmacies, veterinary clinics are not governed by this ordinance. So they specifically wanted to make sure that we covered them in the exclusion. And then there's a couple of places where it references behavioral and developmental services, and they just changed that to health and human services. And that's essentially it. The rest of it is as presented by the planning board.
So those don't make any real big difference other than the fact that they are not, the health center is not going to be
Impacted,
impacted by that.
correct.
Is that reasonable? I mean,
Yes, it's reasonable. So it keeps, because the health center may treat some patients with substance use, they don't want this ordinance to restrain them from doing what they're doing in the present location that they're at.
Mary, any comment? Okay, so we're looking for a motion to approve with the additions or corrections, I should say, and to send it to a public hearing on September 9th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to send the proposed ordinance with the amendments to the town vote on September 9th, 2024.
Town public hearing
Public hearing,
on September 9th, yes.
September 9th, 2024.
Yeah, that's the top.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second to send Chapter 170 outpatient addiction treatment centers and clinics revisions with the changes to a public hearing on September 9th, 2024. Any questions? All right, right, seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. So we'll plan that public hearing for the first of the meeting on the 9th. All right, so we gotta get back here to what I'm doing.
Yeah, sorry, that should have been E1,
Yep.
not F1.
I don't have E1, I have E1, I don't have anything else other than that. All right, so we are down to items of communication. We have department head reports. We have them in our packet, and the link is not here, so anybody have any questions or any of the reports? If we don't, we'll move along. Okay, living well reports are also in the packet. Anybody has that? Town manager report on expenses and revenues. Comments on that? Town manager?
Go ahead.
No, any comments?
Some of the expenditures appear to be over already, but it's because we have, they're not getting allocated properly and we need to adjust those. And I've been working with Heidi on some of that stuff.
Okay.
And then in the Woodlands retain, section 48, the living well salary is coming out of that, but we haven't done any of the commitment yet, so it shows a negative balance.
Okay,
And the same with Backyard Farms retain.
all right.
The revenues are running, I think, we're at about 440,000 right now of revenue since July 1. So I don't have anything to base that on, so I think that's good.
Okay, new business. Number 1, MMA election for executive committee. Manager, what are we looking for on that?
We are looking for Maine Municipal Association. They have Justin Poirier for Monmouth as the Monmouth town manager is running for vice president, for a one-year term. There are 3 members that are running for executive committee. David Sear from Frenchville, not from Scout Savings. Michelle Varola Cole from Bethel, and Matthew Garside from Poland. And they are just asking that we approve the ballot and that you folks sign it.
You have to vote for one?
You have to, well, the vice president is 1,
Yeah.
there's only 1 person running. The executive committee is 3, and there's 3 people running.
I can do that.
You need a motion for that?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Vice President Justin Poirier, Town Manager from Monmouth, David Sear for the Executive Committee, Michelle Cole for the Executive Committee, and Matthew Garside for the Executive Committee. And that's the only 3 that are running, and we need 3 people. Vote for 3. All right, so I'll make that a motion. We vote for the ones I just mentioned. Anybody want to second it?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries.
Okay.
All right. Okay, number 2, KV Cog General Assembly member and alternate.
So the General Assembly member must be an elected person. The alternate does not have to be an elected person. So I would recommend that you select one of you. Whoever might not be here tonight might be the right person, I don't know.
Is anybody interested?
This is for KV Cog, and they're actually having they're having a meeting in September, I think it's the 23rd.
Del, you need?
September
Across the
25th.
street from Hudablaki, it's the,
No?
Often do they meet?
They meet once or twice a year for the General Assembly. The rest of the time, it's typically meetings with the town manager and the code enforcement, planning board, stuff like that.
Sean? All right, I'll let you fill that in. And we can use you as the alternate in these.
Yes.
I'll let you fill that in. All right. All right, number 3, prior authorization for,
We need motions and
oh,
seconds and...
sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so looking for a motion to appoint Sean Bean to the KB cog General Assembly member and Denise Duchamp as the alternate.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Sean and Denise as assembly member and alternate.
All right, I'll second it. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? We do need 3, Sean, so you gotta vote. All in favor, the motion carries. All right, prior authorization for single signer on the Somerset County Registry of Deeds checks, ordinance 742, treasurer's disbursement warrants. We have that in our folder. All right, so we're changing everything that's in red.
Yes. Which one was that, 514?
742.
742. Okay.
We're basically adding Article 2 then, right?
We're adding Article 2, which essentially includes the state fees, which we're already doing that for the state fees for like Bureau of License, motor vehicles and stuff like that. And, oh, there it is, I got it, okay. And then we're dropping the section that says, naming the specific select board members to leave it more as the designated board member.
Okay. So the designated board member at this point is Kathy.
Yes.
That comes in and does the warrant. So
Yes.
we're basically saying that she can sign the Somerset County.
Yes,
warrants
in the
as-
event that happens again, and it shouldn't happen more than once a year, because that's how often we do liens.
Are you good with this?
I suggested it.
All right, thank you. Looking for a motion to approve the changes to the treasurer's disbursement warrants for the state and county transactions. To have one person who is designated to do that.
I'll make a motion that we approve prior authorization for single signer on the Kennebec County Registry of Deeds, ordinance chapter 742, treasurer's disbursement warrant.
All right,
Second?
all right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. Thank you very much.
That will not come before the town until town meeting in June.
Yep. All right, revised loan document for Go Labs.
Okay, so this is the spreadsheet that I handed you all out. We have a loan document that Ms. Alexier revised. They have asked for a deferral of the interest for 6 months, July through December. And then they still have a balloon payment in August of 2028, which will include the interest for that month as well as $10,500 of interest that was deferred. The loan agreement also says, the parts that are being modified, let's see. The principal and interest payments will commence on January 30, 2025. Said monthly payments will be in the amount of $9,257.09. The balloon payment will be on August 30th of 2028 for the note balance, which will be $45,683.85, and the unpaid and deferred interest of $10,699.87, for a total balloon payment of $56,383.75. So if you folks are all in agreement with that, we'll get the motion and then I'll send the paperwork around.
All right, so we're looking for a motion to adjust the loan payment. We've already deferred the payments, correct?
We've deferred the payments, you're modifying the loan note.
Modifying, okay, so we're looking for a motion to modify the loan agreement with Go Lab.
I'll make a motion that we approve the modification of the loan with Go Labs as presented.
Second.
All right, any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries.
And I've got 2 copies here, so if you can sign both of them, Heidi will notarize your signatures. And then we'll send them on, thank you, to Timber, to Go Labs to get them to sign. Thank you.
All right, number 5, Somerset County Sheriff's Office, School Resource Officer.
Sheriff Lancaster came to me and suggested that he could have an officer for a school resource officer starting in January. He knew that the school board and the select board were both interested in providing a school resource officer. So in that conversation, the funding issue came up. You know, how are we going to pay for this? Well, if it starts in January, it would only be half a year instead of a full year. However, the vehicle expense, the initial vehicle expense would still be close to $100,000. So with the vehicle expense and half a year's salary and benefits split between the select board, between the town and the school district, it would be about $75,000 per party to have a school resource officer start at the beginning of January. The officer that he picked out, that he recommends for the position, he said is a very good qualified candidate. He's already certified to be a school resource officer and has established relationships with many of the teachers and administrators and students already. And Al, I think you knew him. I don't know him. So.
Yeah, no, he just sent out a person, right? So
Yeah,
just
round
like you
peg,
said.
round hole. Is
Yeah,
how
round peg, round hole. That's how he kind of showed it. So we're just kind of waiting to see if the board has interest in pursuing this type of thing. Where the money's going to come from, we have to figure that out, obviously. Oh, got it. We'd have to obviously figure that out, but we've talked about it, we've talked about this all for a long time, and I don't know if you've met with the superintendent at this point.
I have had a chance. She's actually meeting with her school board tonight, and she's going to bring it to them as well,
Okay.
with the figure around $75,000 for this fiscal year. And if it doesn't work out that we can do it, then we can plan for it in the next budget and be better prepared.
So I guess what we're looking for tonight is if the board would like the town manager to continue looking at ways to get to a point where we can do this. Yes, Mr. Moody.
Yep, I'm all for school resource officer, but I get, it seems that the splitting the money, it's still all gonna come out of the same taxpayer's pocket.
Yeah.
I guess it's just somebody wants part of the credit, or I don't know what that is, but.
I just think it's the town and the school working together. I don't think it's anybody, I don't think it's anybody trying to say that, one has more money than the other.
No, I'm sure, but I'm just saying, it's
Yeah.
still coming out of the same pocket.
Yep.
no matter how you look at it, if you want the darn thing, I mean, you know, and that seems to be the consensus. You know, I hope they don't haggle over who's gonna pay what half and the other half. It's all gonna be our tax dollars.
So I guess I'd like to ask the board if we'd like to pursue it. We're not gonna say we're going to do it, but just ask the town manager, see if she can figure out, and obviously Heidi too, to figure out how we could pay for something like that out of this budget. So I think we have a good crew there, and they can probably figure something out. Anybody opposed? Or- Okay, so let's continue on, see what we can
Okay,
figure out.
thank you. I'll move forward with discussion.
Okay.
No promises to anybody, just discussion right now.
All right. All right, number 6, Cemetery Advisory Committee.
Excuse me. Apparently there used to be a cemetery advisory committee, and it was brought to our attention by the Historical Society that they were part of this committee. Tim says it was him and the sexton and the finance person. So I don't know if that's something that the board would like to pursue and recreate or re-energize a cemetery committee. We have Forest Hill Cemetery and 10 small cemeteries. So having a committee may not be a bad idea to help prioritize what needs to be done, when, where, how. And then following that issue is the restoration bids. So I'd like to get a sense from the board how you feel we should proceed. If you think it's necessary, if you don't think it's necessary.
I think it would be a great idea. I think to keep that group together. I don't know if you want to make it bigger. I don't know exactly how that came about. I don't remember a cemetery committee, but
There's nothing in ordinance about it.
yeah.
You know, so maybe that's something else that we take to town meeting. We create an ordinance for the cemetery committee to establish it.
Right. I mean, right now we have a good crew that is taking care of the cemetery. The Yorks, I believe, doing Forest Hills, and then Bobby Bishop does the other 10, and that has not always been the case. So I mean, the other 10 are really being taken care of. Bob's really, I think, done a really good job with that. But I know the one behind Big Apple is always an issue because of whatever is growing in there, and cleaning that up and getting, you know, and the, you know, and the,
Oh dear.
I mean, even in Forest Hills, I mean, there's a lot of old grave sites that, you know, topple, and, you know, figuring out a plan to take care of that stuff, because we obviously want it looking nice.
Right.
So I think I don't think a committee like that could hurt us.
Okay.
Mr. Mooney?
No, I can, back in I think it was 99 when I was on, the cemeteries were in real bad shape.
Yep.
And mostly from the maintenance of the brush that was growing in. And back at that time, we had the sheriff at that time would release prisoners for as many days as we wanted. All we had to do was provide a babysitter for it. And they did all of that trimming and mowing and everything. And at that time, the cemetery, all the cemeteries were brought back. I remember there was one on East Madison. You're lucky if you could find it.
Right.
But yes, I think we need to get back to that era of taking care of our cemeteries. To me, it's a disgrace when you don't take care of your cemeteries in the past ones.
And the 10 that are under Bobby's control, I mean, obviously Forest Hills, we see that every day. We ride by there, we see that looks very good. And the 10 under Bob's control, to my knowledge, look very good. The last time I looked at it.
And you'd be surprised how many people in this town do not know that we have that number of cemeteries. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh,
And
yes.
that doesn't even include the Catholic one either.
Right,
Yeah, it doesn't include St.
Right.
Sebastian.
right. So I think it's a
Okay.
good idea. Let's,
All right, I will continue to pursue it.
okay. All right, number 7, cemetery restoration bids.
Heidi has received 3 bids, and I'll let her go through them.
So basically, this was coming about from when I took the position in April and found out I was in charge of the cemeteries. And I found old bids for repairing and restoration work in Kincaid and Bridge Street cemeteries. Since that time, the funds that were allocated to actually go and repair both of those places has been dispersed a little bit. It has not been used for the actual restoration, so my biggest thing this year is I wanna see if we can at least get Kincaid Cemetery on the map for restoration and for repairs. There's, to the best of my knowledge, over 250 stones either fallen or broken or sunk, just in Kincaid alone. Bobby does a great job up there, but he can't even use a mower anymore. He has to use a weed whacker for most of it, because he cannot get through. The 3 bids that we have are from Thomas Stevens Cemetery Restoration out of Newcastle. They are the ones that actually were recommended by Solon, the town of Solon, because they take care and do all the restoration work up there. Tammy Carrier did a lot of work before she left, investigating, you know, who did what where, and that's one of the ones that she had found. We also have Mike Ricker, our sexton. He put in another bid. And then we also, have a third from Jim Elias at Elias Monuments.
So how much money do we have to start with before we?
Right now, in the capital, we have $25,000.
Okay.
That was what was
That was what was brought forward
brought
from last
forward
year.
from last year.
So those are all current?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Thomas Stevens, he's the one that, Thomas Stevens, this bid was from '22, and he says he would honor this price.
How much is it?
His bid is $26,100. This is for restoration and repair is $14,100, cleaning is $12,000 for a total of $26,100. Elias Monuments, he is saying that there's 286 monuments that need work, and he would do them at $150 each, and that would be $42,900. If you'd rather do an individual price, he says it'd probably be $200 per stone, and then it would be to repair, reset, and clean.
So that would only be 125 stones at 200 a stone.
No, well, if you wanted to break it up, I think
Right.
is what he says, if you wanted to pick and choose. I do know that Kincaid has Civil War soldiers, and the Historical Society actually approached me a few weeks ago talking about the committee, because there's a lot of soldier and veteran stones that are being neglected at this point, and that was one of the things that they'd like to see us try to preserve for the future. The last bid we had was, like I said, from Mike Ricker, and he says there's 109 stones that need to be epoxied, so basically they're broken, and then put to their bases. There's 127 stones that need straightening and they need base repairs. And then there's other miscellaneous repairs such as sunken graves caused by stonework in close vicinity, loam, seed, mulch areas disturbed by repairs. So he's looking at probably $15,950 to fix Kincaid. And there's a possibility of anywhere from $750 to $3,000 more, depending on what he comes across as he's doing the work. And he said the prices are good for the 24 and 25 summer seasons.
So do any of these have a timeline for you? I mean, can they get on them now?
When I first started looking at this, they were all, June. But this, of course, we only have so much time to go over everything. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my concern is, I know with the weather turning soon, It's not, no one's gonna be able to finish and complete, I don't think, before winter.
You're gonna be tough to get onto Kincaid Road Cemetery next spring before probably June, I would
June,
think,
yeah. And again, it's depending on schedule too, because I know some of the folks that put in bids do have other positions that they're working on, so their timeline of whenever they're able to do the work too, it's gonna be somewhat of an issue too.
Those are pretty wide, that's a wide spread, I don't know. I mean, I guess, will what Mike Ricker's bid is saying, will that do what we wanna do?
To the best of my knowledge, yes, I mean, he knows probably as well as anybody what he's facing. My only concern there is timeline. I mean, I know he's very, very busy with what he's doing already,
Yeah, plus a full-time job, I would say.
full-time job and being sexton.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure he can do it, I just don't know, again, how long it would take.
What was this,
Thomas Stevens?
Yeah, and could they do much of it starting this year?
When I spoke to Tom in June, when I first started researching this, they said that they could do stuff during the summer. I'm not sure, again, you know, what their timeline is now, because June to mid-August is a big time.
And I guess I understand that, and I, for one, wouldn't expect this complete job to be done this year. You know, I think go as far as we can this year with the money that we have, and then come back to us and let us know next year what it's gonna take to finish the job, and then somehow set up a budget, an annual budget, so it's there automatically if the money is needed.
And that was my request in my report from last month.
And because we have neglected it and it's time to fix it, I guess. But I would like to see, myself, I would like to see as much of it done this year as possible, and this sounds like a professional outfit that's doing it, and Solon has had good luck with it. And this is what they do, the company does.
This is what they do, yep. I mean, they are a monument company as well,
Yes?
but this is their actual company's name is Thomas Stevens Cemetery Restorations.
Yeah.
I mean, if we go with Mike Ricker, we'd have to send approximately $9,000 to put somewhere else.
But we wouldn't have the experience, the expertise of the company.
And he's been doing that a long time.
Yeah, but he ain't got time to have a full-time job, he'd be here for the next 5 years doing it.
All right, I'll go on what you guys say. Who wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to we go with
Thomas Stevenson?
Thomas Stevenson's, yes.
For $26,100, or we wanna make it just 25? That's all we have,
We'll
right?
cap them at 25.
25.
Yes, for this year.
Okay.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second to award the cemetery restoration bid to Thomas Stevenson at $25,000 tops. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All right, all in favor, the motion carries. Thank you, Heidi. All right, number 8, adoption of the town seal for discussion only.
Right, discussion only. So we were, Cheyenne was talking about a town seal and she was trying to figure out why we needed one, or she needed it for a ballot or something. And so we're trying to figure out, you know, what is the best way to come about doing this town seal. I've given out to the town office some, town office staff, some blanks. I may have put these in your packets.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
I don't have that.
you don't have that?
No.
So, just to kind of, that would be the gist of it, you know, and then
So that's like the town of Madison.
that is the town of Madison. And, yeah, so, being up north, and this would be Lake Westawatsit over here. That's just an idea, we can do any number of things. Whatever we do, you know, it would say Madison, Maine Incorporated, date, a great place to live, work, and play.
Yeah.
Mr. Moody?
I think this would be a great project for the school's kids. To make, and let them come up with a seal, have a reward at the end of it for the person that has the best one, publicize it in whatever we got to do, and let them get their fingers into it also.
Okay.
And I think they'd have a good time doing it. Kids have pretty darn good imaginations.
Yeah, they do.
That's a good idea.
Do you want to start with the blank? Do you want to start with just the circle, or do you want to start with the outline of the town?
I guess a seal has to be a circle to begin with as far as
Right.
a stamp
Yeah,
goes.
I would say give a list on the side of the criteria that Cheyenne's looking for.
okay.
So maybe they can incorporate, that type of stuff that she's looking to have on there.
Yeah,
Maybe other towns might have examples
yeah.
as well, so.
And school's gonna start up right away, and then I think it'd be a good project for the kids to get involved.
Okay,
Sounds good?
alrighty,
All right,
thank you.
set a date for strategic planning joint session with the planning board.
Yes,
What are we looking for dates?
well, let me go to my calendar. I would prefer to do it probably on a Saturday if we can do that, because that way we are not constrained with jobs and everything else. If that works for you guys.
We're looking like October.
Probably, because I think September is pretty well booked.
Well, I'll just throw out October 19th.
Can that be in morning hours and not afternoon hours?
This is gonna be a whole day thing.
For you,
Remember, we want them to come.
for you?
I'll make breakfast. I'll take care of you.
What time would we like to do that?
I would start it probably at 9. We have our planning board chairman here, if we can get some feedback from the planning board chair.
I don't even know, what is that, that's a Saturday, you said?
Yes,
October
19.
19th. I don't know, I don't have my calendar with me, so.
So we're looking like 9 to noon, type of thing?
Yep. And it's an open meeting, everybody would be able to come, the public would be available to come. However, it's not to have, like, voting on issues, it's more to throw out projects and priorities, what you guys want to see happen in the next year, the next 5 years, to kind of get the ball rolling as to where we should be focusing our efforts instead of doing it piecemeal.
You're looking at like a 4 or 5 year plan.
I'm not gonna be here 4 or 5 years, so probably not.
I'll be with you.
But at least a 2 to 3 year plan.
Okay.
I think it's something along the way we can talk about at a meeting
Yep.
amongst us and just kind of come up with some ideas and give you something to go with. I don't know if you plan on having a facilitator,
I think a facilitator would be the right way to go if we have the select board, the planning board available.
what about the guy from KV Cog?
Joel,
Mm.
he got promoted, he's like the executive director of
Well, he'd
KV
be
Cog.
really good for us now.
We can ask.
Yeah, unless they have somebody else. If
Right.
they have somebody else, that's fine.
Okay,
Well, if you come up with somebody different, if there's somebody in town that can do it,
yeah, I'm sure that there's somebody that we could harness their
have a
energy.
neutral, we're right before election, that would be good. Nobody's gonna be neutral at that point.
Well,
Oh, whoops, sorry. No, I'm just kidding, I'm just teasing. Yeah. All right. Okay, citizens' concerns. Citizens' concerns? Seeing none, select board concerns. Wyatt?
I'm good right now, thank you.
Rudy?
Yeah, I got one concern.
All right.
I understand somebody made a complaint into the office about signs,
signs, yes.
okay?
Signs down at the
Yes,
triangle.
Yes, and And somehow, unless we're gonna have irate people going, putting signs out, and not knowing they can't put signs, we gotta get these people educated to what the law is and what we have been pushed into doing.
Okay,
Yeah, I thought-
so educate the public why they were taken down.
Yes, yes, because in the future, you know, they're going up again. I mean, there's no restrictions on, very few restrictions on the political signs, but all
Right.
these yard sales and all this other stuff, you know, you see them every weekend.
Right.
You know, we gotta get the word out somehow, or you're gonna be inundated if somebody took a sign.
Understood. Okay,
Anything else this morning?
No, that's good.
Mr. Bean?
Only concern I got the water district work that's going on 148. Are they gonna retile that section or just the individual?
I don't know, I'll find out.
Can I say something about that? How far down are they gonna come this week?
I don't know how far down they're coming this week, but they are supposed to come, to my knowledge, they're coming all the way to the traffic light.
So
But then- but we need-
got
Madison
asking
and,
them not to for this week.
that's
Town
what I'm
manager-
thinking for Madison and St. Days,
Town
it'd be
manager's
nice
gonna
for them
get
not to
on
do that.
and make sure that they know, they've got to know that.
Yeah, because they're cutting up the top of the hill right by.
Yeah, I would say by Thursday noontime, they should be done. That's all we're gonna.
The only concern I got, Denise, is if the, towards the high school's done, is there a chance they can
Pave it.
pave that now instead of it's rough?
It is very rough, and it gets rougher every time it rains.
I think slow down is being key.
I saw that.
Speed bumps.
The blinking sign slows me down.
Yeah.
The side of the roads too are a mess as well. Just piles of gravel.
Yeah, I assume they're going to fix that and level it out, I assume.
Towards the end.
All right,
I
we're
will
looking
find
for a
out.
motion to go into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 405-6C, a real estate matter. Looking for a motion. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
We have a second, motion and a second, going into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 405-6C. All those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. We are in executive session at 7:16.